Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, coming to you from the Area Command, 390 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to our program tonight. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. For those of you that have never been here, my name is Ron Tyler. We've had this broadcast on the air for 5 years. 5 years. 5 years is a long time. It's been 5 years since April 3rd, which is 2 weeks ago. We appreciate all of you, or not necessarily 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. We appreciate all of you being here with us. Folks, we want to just briefly come on the air to talk to you about Israel. Then I want to talk about emergency preparedness. We've been talking a lot about emergency preparedness over the years, and we're going to talk about it more tonight. Okay? We're definitely going to talk about emergency preparedness tonight. Now, what is happening in Israel? Israel has been attacked directly by Iran now. Iran has launched heavy-duty missiles, drone attacks, and long-range ballistic missiles. Okay? They have launched direct long-range ballistic missiles. Okay? This we knew they were going to do. We knew definitely they were going to do that. Now, why are they doing it? Because they can. Because they can. Now, they have been coming after the United States and Israel for as long as I can ever remember. Literally, for as long as I can ever remember. They have been chanting death to Israel and death to the United States since the late 60s, early 70s. We witnessed this happen over in when Iran captured our U.S. hostages in 1975. They've been doing this for a very long time. They're going to continue doing this. They don't like the Western countries. They want Islam to take over the world. Whether that happens remains to be seen. But I'm telling you right now, number one is I don't think they're going to be able to achieve their goal right now, and I don't think they're ever going to achieve it going into the future. Number two, Iran has already, as of yesterday, and even before that on Friday night, in this Saturday morning, Iran has already exacted a toll on Israel for Israel attacking the building just outside of the Iranian embassy in Syria. Iran told us that we were going to have recompense, or they were going to have recompense for what Israel did in Syria. They've already had that. As of last night and early this morning, they have gone too far. Over in the UN right now, the U.S., Iran, and Israel ambassadors are speaking at the UN. Iran has gone too far. Iran has overstepped its bounds. Okay? I'm going to say that straight up. Iran has overstepped its bounds. They should never have gone this far at all. I do not think that they should have done anything, period. That's my own personal opinion. Now, where are we going to go with this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to give my opinion right now. I am going to say this. Biden has given a speech saying that this has already gone too far, and they have urged Israel to take a step back to see if Iran will continue. Of course they're going to continue. I do not expect Iran to stop. They've already taken the steps. Right now, I do not see anything going on. Yes, our camera is sticking. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let me go check my settings here and just double check everything we've got going here. We're being buffered. We're being buffered big time. No, I don't know why we're buffering at all. NCWQ Explorer was here on the air with me, and she's saying here in the chat, driver needed. I don't know. I think we already had drivers enabled here and put up here for our channel, so we should not be having any problem. I think it's maybe just YouTube. I know I'm seeing great buffering here on my end on my monitor here. Does anybody else have any problems? NCWQ says no buffer there. No buffer, but cam sticking. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe if I hold my head still. No, that doesn't even help because I'm talking and I can't even see myself talk here. YouTube issue. I'm going to keep going here just because I can. Folks, we'll see what Iran does tonight. If they come up and continue their bombing raid on Israel, they are going to have worse things happen. Even though Biden told them to stand down and wait to see if anything happens, and they can see if diplomacy will stop what's going on. With Iran, diplomacy never worked. Diplomacy never worked with Iran and never will. Iran wants their own will done, which is Islam takes over the world or else. So I don't think anything's going to change. That's my opinion. Now, with that said, let's wait and see what Iran does. Okay? If Iran continues their assault on Israel, we will know where we're going. We will definitely know where we're going. I will be coming back on the air to talk about it as soon as information becomes available. Right now, I want everybody to be concentrated on their emergency preparedness supplies. I want everybody to be concentrating on what they have in their homes. What they have in case all hell breaks loose, and it could happen. I spoke about 72-hour kits. Back in 2014, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, was urging everyone around the globe, and especially here in the United States and the United States territorial areas, to get a 72-hour kit. In 2014, FEMA did a survey of all emergency managers all over the United States. The only question that was asked in that survey was, did everybody have an emergency preparedness kit? Several weeks went by and FEMA got their answer. Several weeks went by and FEMA came back with their survey answer. 25% of emergency managers had a 72-hour kit. Only 25% of emergency managers had a 72-hour kit. That's pretty bad, considering FEMA had been telling all of us emergency managers to be telling all of you around the United States to have an emergency preparedness kit. A 72-hour kit. For only 25% of emergency managers to have a 72-hour kit is outlandish. It's outlandish, ladies and gentlemen. Outlandish. Why am I saying that? Because, folks, if we're supposed to be telling all of you and expecting all of you to comply with FEMA's suggestion of having an emergency preparedness kit for 72 hours, and we weren't doing it, what does that say about us? I have had a 72-hour kit since about 2001 or 2002. I not only complied, but I complied way out ahead of time. Of course, I was an emergency manager. I was telling people to do what I was doing. I went around to emergency preparedness fairs and emergency preparedness talks telling people to have emergency preparedness kits in the way of at least a 72-hour kit. If I expected them to have it, of course I'm going to have it as well, and I have. What is happening? I still don't believe that everyone has an emergency preparedness kit. I don't believe everyone even has a 72-hour kit. We have also talked about bug-out bags. Bug-out bags contain maybe one meal and protein bars to get you from where you're going to back home. From the office to back home if you can't continue driving your car and you have to go out on foot to get where you want to be. A bug-out bag. Basically, just a simple bug-out bag. Now, is anybody even complying with that? I have my doubts. I would hope that all of you who watch this program would have a bug-out bag. I would hope all of you would have a bug-out bag. I would hope all of you would have a 72-hour kit. But I doubt all of you have those. Yes, I know there are some of you who do. But I am still urging you to have a 72-hour kit. So tonight, I'm going to talk about 72-hour kits. I'm going to talk about emergency preparedness kits. On Friday, I told you that we were going to talk about preparedness tonight. Prepping for the first 72 hours. Layer 1. A 72-hour kit for each member of your family. For absolute beginners. This is the absolute minimum for beginners. The first thing you need to worry about is having the basics down to survival for at least 3 days, 72 hours. Most smaller scale disasters don't last longer than this. So it makes sense to take care of the 72-hour kit first. Now, there's one other suggestion here, and I'm going to make it very clear. FEMA is now saying that when something happens, they're not going to be able to get to you for anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. If something happens, the federal government will not be able to get to anyone from 3 weeks to 3 months. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. So what I am saying is you need at least a 72-hour kit. We've been talking about emergency preparedness kits as well, and we are going to talk about that. But I want to describe for you the basic Beginners, absolute beginners, 72-hour kit. To successfully pass this portion of our test, and yes, this is a test of the Emergency Management Broadcast System. Prepping for beginners. Level 1. As a beginner, you're going to need a bug-out bag, a BOB for short, a bug-out bag. You're also going to need a do-it-yourself first aid kit. A do-it-yourself first aid kit, or what they call an FAK, a first aid kit. Okay? That's the minimum. We've also told you that if you're going to bug out, you need to have a bug out location. We've been talking about bug out locations for a very long time. If you're going to have a bug out location, you need to have at least 3 bug out locations, in case the first one that you're planning on going to can't get you in during an emergency. There is a high probability that if you only have 1 bug out location planned for, it's going to be closed by the time you get to it. So you need to have 3 bug out locations. A minimum of 3 bug out locations, as well as 3 bug out routes. 3 different routes to get you to your location that you want to be going to. Now, I've told you all, do not use the main thoroughfares to get to where you're wanting to go. Avoid the main thoroughfares as well as highways. Why? Because police and or National Guard troops may be there, and they may be establishing roadblocks and not letting anybody through those roadblocks, and if they do, it will only be certain people. So you don't want to use the main thoroughfares or highways or freeways to get to where you're wanting to go. Another fact about that is everybody else will also be using those thoroughfares and or highways / freeways to get to where they want to go. So you're going to encounter heavy traffic. Very, very heavy traffic. That might be bad. That is the other reason I have been telling all of you to make sure your gasoline tanks in your cars are topped off. Since this thing started in Israel, gas prices have skyrocketed. The price of gas per barrel, oil per barrel, is now at $89 per barrel. The price of fuel out here at our gas pumps has skyrocketed. Between Wednesday and Friday this past week, our gas prices here skyrocketed 30 cents per gallon. 30 cents per 4 liters of fuel. That's huge. That's huge. You need to keep your gas tanks topped off, no matter what the cost. I'm not talking about your own safety and your ability to eat and have water. Yes, you need to have those things. You need to going to have food and water, but you need to have fuel in your gas tank in case you have to leave your home. You don't want to be involved in a traffic jam, especially if you're en route to your bug out location. You want to get there as soon as you possibly can. You want to abide by the laws in getting there so you don't get stopped and given a ticket, and during an emergency that ticket will turn into a jail sentence. Don't do that. Stay abiding with your current laws in your cities, states, and countries. Do not violate the law if you can help it. Please don't do that. We don't want to see anybody going to jail for stupid reasons. You need to be safe. Again, make sure you have 3 routes to get to your destination and 3 destinations to go to. Okay? Stay off main roads. Take surface streets to get to where you want to go as much as possible. Okay? Make sure your vehicle is up to snuff. Make sure your vehicle is going to be able to get where you need to go. If you have to have repairs to make sure it's stable, get your repairs at the least amount of cost as possible. That way you're saving money. Do not put your safety at risk, though. Don't put your safety at risk at all. Make sure you're stocked up with food at your home. We've been talking to everybody for a very long time about having a supply of food on your shelves, in your home, in your pantry. We've been asking everybody to have at least a 3 to 4 week supply of food. And if they can, to be working on at least 6 months of food, and if you've already accomplished that, to be working on a year's supply of food. You need that. Hello? Let me see if I can do that. Hold on, folks, just a second. I've got to see if I can reduce this buffering here. Okay, just a second, guys. I'm working on this to see if we can relieve this buffering going on. You said 7,000? You said 7,100 or 7,000? Okay, I just did that. Yes. Okay, I just did. Okay, guys, I hope this will help. I hope this will help some. Yeah, so am I. Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep going for a minute to see if what I just did will help these technical problems. Anyway, you need to have a bug out route. You need a bug out location. Make sure you get there. Okay? Make sure we can have a bug out location. A place to evacuate to in case we could no longer stay at our homes. You need a vehicle that works. You need a few basic survival skills as well. For urban scenarios. If you live in the city, you need to have general physical preparation, what we call GPP. General physical preparation, meaning you need to be a little stronger. You need to be a little faster. You need a little bit more flexibility and have more stamina. Stamina. We're talking about your body, folks. I don't want anybody getting hurt when they're trying to bug out or while they're trying to survive whatever happens. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you prepare yourselves. Okay? Get a little stronger, faster, and even more flexible if you possibly can. And you need to get to a point where you can have more stamina. Nothing too fancy though. Okay? You just need to get in a little bit better shape. Okay? Okay, we figured it's YouTube, and I'm sorry, guys. YouTube is messing with us again. Okay? Before I keep going here, I did my Sunday school class today. I was on the air 1 hour and 4 minutes. YouTube said nobody had seen my video. And yet I had dozens of people in my chat. So YouTube was lying from the very beginning. So I went into the statistics of my program. Okay? I went into the bio of my program. It said over 50 people had seen my program. And yet on the outside, YouTube was saying 0. Nobody had seen it. YouTube is lying through their frickin' teeth. And they're messing with me now. Let's keep going here. We're talking about physical fitness. Please, folks, get a little bit in better shape. We may not have too much time to go. Okay? Next, you need at least a couple ways to start a fire. You need at least a couple of ways to start a fire. You need to think about Bic lighters. BIC lighters. Bic lighters, like Bic pens, they've got Bic fire starters, Bic lighters. Magnesium fire starters. Magnesium fire starters like flint and steel like the Boy Scouts use. Magnesium fire starters. I have one of those over here in my 72-hour kit. I also have a stash of steel wool. I also have a small stash of lint for my dryers when I've dried my clothes. Dryer lint makes an excellent fire starter. It burns fast. It gets hot. It provides a hot enough spark to keep my wood kindling going until the kindling really gets going and I can add more and more wood. Okay? So think of a Bic cigarette lighter, think of magnesium fire starters, think of steel wool, and also think of dryer lint. All of those are excellent fire starters. A 9-volt battery. How about a 9-volt battery? Waterproof matches. And at least one way to filter water, such as a life straw. Now, I don't have everything pulled out of my kits here to show you a life straw, to show you a magnesium fire starter, and steel wool and stuff. Those are in my 72-hour kits and my emergency preparedness kit. But you all know what those things are. You all know what those things are. You need to get serious about making sure you're ready for anything that could happen. You at least need a couple of ways to light your way, i.e. flashlights or lanterns, hand crank flashlights, battery-operated flashlights, headlamps. I've got several headlamps here. I have more than enough of a stash of backup batteries for any kind of light or anything else that runs on batteries here. You need to think about hand crank flashlights and even possibly candles. Handle candles very cautiously. You don't want to start a big fire. You just want to have some warmth and some light. That's all you want. Be very careful with candles or you could burn your home down. We don't want that to happen. Multi-purpose survival items. Duct tape. I have several different rolls of duct tape here. I have paracord. For anybody that doesn't know what paracord is, it's parachute cord. It's very strong, thin rope. It's about that thin. No joke. It's about that thin. Okay? Paracord. I've got probably 2,000 or 3,000 feet of paracord. I'm asking you Just to have one package of paracord, 500 feet of paracord, it might cost you $7. Baking soda, bleach. Baking soda to both cook with and also clean with. Bleach to clean your clothes with, and also to sanitize your water with maybe a teaspoon of bleach per gallon, and or sanitize your washing water and your detergent so you can sanitize your utensils and your plates and pans to be able to use them more than once. How about an emergency thermal blanket? How many of you have an emergency thermal blanket? You need to think about that. I've seen those emergency thermal blankets go for 50 cents to $1. With everything going on now, they're probably also going to go up. You can use an emergency thermal blanket for so many things, including making a tent. Thinking about even having a way to communicate. My buddy Don Patoka that's here in this chat has helped me be able to communicate. We have told you all about emergency family radio service radios similar to this. Two-way emergency radio communications. You need to be the first to know what's going on when things go bad. You need to be able to communicate with your family members and those you care about, those who are with you. You need a family radio service radio. Okay? You need ways to contact your family members. You need ways to contact the police, the ambulance, the fire department, and so forth. At the very least, you should have an AM/FM emergency weather radio. An AM/FM weather radio. An AM/FM radio that has a weather channel on it, attached within the radio. That way you can listen to the weather forecasts, and if all hell breaks loose, the weather service will turn that channel over to local authorities to give you the latest emergency information that you might need. So you need to have an AM/FM weather radio. If you can't have or don't have the weather part of it, tune your radio to nothing more, and I'm saying nothing more, than a talk radio station, a news radio station. Only the news radio stations are going to be able to give you the latest information on what's going on in your area. If you're tuned to a music-only radio station, it's highly unlikely that you're going to hear any news that's going on. If you're tuned, for example, if you're watching television and you're tuned to HGTV, they're not going to broadcast the news. You need to tune your televisions also to news talk station, where you're going to get the latest news and weather. That's what you need in order to survive. You need to have radios and batteries. Radios and batteries. I've got my batteries here from a local store here. Okay? A local store. Now I'm just going to show you, for kicks and giggles, where I get my batteries. Okay? These are great. Okay? Folks, these are great. Right here. These are AAA batteries. AAA batteries. I've got AAAs, I've got AA's, I've got C's to power some of my flashlights. I have 9-volt batteries to replace the batteries in my smoke detectors here. I've got batteries to supply almost everything. Okay? You need to have extra batteries. Okay? You need to have it. This is absolutely necessary. Okay? Make sure you have those. You're not going to survive without batteries. I guarantee you. Okay? You also need to have something for defense. Something to protect yourself and what you've gathered together to help you survive. Now, I'm going to talk about nugs. If you wonder what a nug is, spell it the other way. I've spelled it backwards so I don't get in trouble here. YouTube doesn't like what I'm talking about, and I don't give a rat's flying frosty keister. I'm talking about home defense nugs and alternative weapons. Alternative weapons. I don't go much of anywhere without my nug on my side. I have seeds for my nugs, if you know what I mean. I have plenty of seeds to hold off an army for a small time. I also have neighbors in the area here near me that are like-minded. So we're going to be together helping protect each other. You need to do the same thing. When you're talking about home protection, you need to have people that are like-minded with you. The more people you have with you, the greater chance you have of defending yourself and defending what you have. So make sure you do that. This is absolutely necessary. Now, if the law does not allow you to have a nug, you may be interested in making or buying airsoft nugs. Airsoft nugs. Think about it. Okay? That might help you. How about a 3-day supply of water? A 3-day supply of water. FEMA requires at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. That's 3 gallons of water for 3 days. I tell people to make sure that you have at least 3 gallons of water per person per day. Why am I talking about 3 gallons of water per person per day? You're going to want to have some kind of water to wash your body with. You want to have some kind of water to wash your body with and to flush toilets with. You can always use gray water to flush toilets with, meaning once you wash your body down and you've kept hold of that water, you can later use that water to flush your toilets. Okay? No joke. Okay? Because right now I am fine. I'm speaking to NCWQ here for just a second. She's in my ear here. And my camera is functioning with my broadcast software just fine. But apparently we're getting buffered really bad. And our camera is frozen out here on our monitors. Our video here on our monitor has been frozen for quite some time. Now, I apologize for that. I didn't know that was going to happen tonight. We've had very little, if any, problems as of late. But again, we've been talking about things that YouTube doesn't like. They don't like us. They don't like us talking about Israel and Iran. They don't like us talking about preparations. They don't like us talking about defending ourselves. Too damn bad. Sorry, guys, that's the bottom line. But again, 3 days worth of water. I'm asking all of you to think about at least 3 gallons of water per day per person. Don't forget your pets. Do not forget your pets. Our dogs here are our children. Our dogs are our children here. We treat them even better than we are treating ourselves. We have plenty of water for them. we have at least 6 months worth of water for them, and we keep 6 months of water for us. So if there was just 2 of us, we would probably get by for a year with water. But because we plan for water for them, we have water for them and water for us as well. I'm just giving you an idea so you can also plan for your pets and yourselves. Okay? You need that. You need to at least have a 72-hour stockpile of food. A 72-hour of stockpile of food for yourselves and your animals. Your dogs, your cats, whatever you have. Okay? A 72-hour stockpile of food. Now, some of this could be freeze-dried food for 3 days. We have plenty of 3-day survival kits here. We also have, I think, close to 6 months worth of supply of survival food. And we could probably double that because we can ration ourselves during our meals. And many meals that they have provided for us in our 72-hour kits and our monthly survival kits are plenty to divide in half and we'll be fine. So think about that. You need at least 2,500 calories per person per day. 2,500 of calories of food per day, per person. Per person. Don't forget your pets. Please do not forget your pets. Now, the other day we were talking about a safe room in case there's a tornado, an inside part of your house to get away from windows, a hallway. Designate a safe room to hide into as a last resort. Many people have a safe room built into their homes. You need to have a safe room to go to in case you are attacked or someone breaks into your house and you're not really able to defend yourselves pretty much. You need to have a safe room to hide. Okay? Remember, fear and flight. Fear and flight. If you fear whoever is coming at you, you need a place to go. Think about where you would go. Okay? Burglars. Home invaders. We see this happening all over the world. Set up early warning systems on your property. You can set up security cameras. Security cameras are fairly inexpensive now. You can think about a security camera alarm system and put stickers around your home and outside to warn whoever's there that might harm you that you are semi-protected by having some stickers outside your home saying you have a security alarm system and cameras. Think about it. If you already don't have a dog, get a dog. Your dog can also be the companion that you need. Your dog could be an emotional support animal. Your dog could also be a protector of you and your family. Many dogs are. Get a dog, maybe even a few dogs as a surprise for anyone that would want to be a home invader to your home. That way, they turn into dog food. They can turn into dog food, and you protecting your dogs stop those people. But know the law. Don't shoot anybody in the back. Absolutely do not shoot anybody in the back. Also, again, we talked about this a few minutes ago. Know your bug out routes. Mark them on printed, laminated sheets of paper. Mark them on printed, laminated sheets of paper. That way you can change your bug out route if you have to, but if you don't have them on laminated paper, put those maps into Ziploc baggies, gallon-sized Ziploc bags. That protects them from being screwed around with or with water. It protects them from water from being damaged. If your map gets in any water, it becomes almost unusable. So get those Ziploc baggies for your maps, please. Focus on the maps and the places you're going to go, to places that don't get crowded very often, or places that don't get very crowded at all. Think about a bug out location that's not going to be crowded. Make sure you have at least 3 different locations you can go to in case one is already filled up. Everyone is going to be trying to get out of Dodge. Everybody's going to be trying to get out of the city or wherever you're at. Forest roads, train tracks. Yes, there will be people running down train tracks. If you do that, be careful. If you hear a train, get off the track. Don't take chances. Get off the track right then, right now. Also, something else you need to have is a fixed blade survival knife. A fixed blade survival knife. At least a good folding knife like I have here. And it locks. It doesn't go anywhere. You need to have at least a good folding knife, please, for your own safety. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, I just tried something. Guys. Okay, I just tried something. I hope it works. I hope this works. Okay, we talked about knives. I hope that works. Get a good multi-tool. I have an example of a multi-tool here with me. The reason I have it here with me is I already have a multi-tool in my survival kits, in my 72-hour kit and my emergency supply kit. You need to have a good fixed blade survival knife, and you need to have a multi-tool. A multi-tool. This is a multi-tool. Okay? On the outside, it might have knife blades right here or over on this side. But this survival tool here, this multi-tool, has pliers. These pliers might help you fish something out of a fire that you're cooking. Or you're heating up hot water. This can fish that pot out of the fire. You can also use this multi-tool, this pair of pliers, for a lot of things, including cutting. It has a cutting blade right there. It might work for you. Okay? This has blades here. I have blades and screwdrivers here. I have screwdrivers right here. Right there. I've got screwdrivers. I have both a flat-headed blade and I have a multi-headed blade for those kinds of screw projects. Okay? Now, with that said, not only screwdrivers, but I have blades right here. Different size blades right here that can cut, and they're very sharp blades. So think about a multi-bladed, multi-tool survival tool. Okay? You need to really think about that. Get a good multi-tool. Okay? Just for your own good. Okay? Now, I don't think what I did to try to get this video back here, but I hope in some cases that you can still see me here. Okay? Worry yourself also that you have not just a way to communicate, but a way to operate. Okay? You need a way of a communications plan, but you also need about what we call an OPSEC, Operation Security Plan. And you need to know how to deploy those preparations. Don't neglect mental preparation as well. You need to develop your fight or flight instinct. Develop your fight or flight instinct. Make sure you can do both, and do both very well. Now, 3 things that you need to remember. The rule of threes. Remember the rule of threes, guys. You can live 3 minutes without air. You can live 3 hours without shelter. You might be able to live 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. The rule of threes. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and no more than 3 weeks without food. Remember that, and you'll probably do better than just survive. Okay? Now, tomorrow I'm going to talk about level 2 preparedness, your 3-week survival plan. Tonight we talked about 72 hours. Tomorrow night we're going to talk about a 3-week survival plan, a 3-week plan of food as well. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've said and told you tonight? Jacqueline says, I can't see you, Ron. That's because YouTube is playing games with us again. YouTube is playing games with us again. Do any of you have any questions about anything that I've said tonight? Jacqueline, I'm so sorry that YouTube is doing this. This is the worst it's ever been here on YouTube. I'm so sorry. I get a new computer, I institute hardware and software to avoid this happening, and the first thing they do is deal with me. I will try to overcome this tomorrow night for all of you. My buddy Don Potok is here, which I'm grateful for. He says, being prepared is much more than just a supply of stuff. Be in tune through prayer with your Heavenly Father. Be prepared to listen for the still small voice, the Holy Spirit, the voice of guidance, as each of us are unique in circumstances. Your immediate safety and well-being is incumbent upon you and in your hands. Few people can do that. Only you. Few people can do that, only you can. Okay? Or you're going to come to spare you. Okay? You and only you. You alone can stand accountable for your safety and well-being unless you have your spouse and or your children and pets there. You're going to want to save them and be accountable for them as well. So be careful. Texas lady says, I can still see the picture, it's just frozen. Sound is good, that's good. Thank you, Texas lady, we appreciate that. Now, something else that Donna said, and I completely agree with this. Proactively prepare and plan for each earthquake, every volcano, every tsunami, every tornado, every flood, every fire, hail, blizzard, hurricane, wind, war, EMP, coronal mass ejection, a power failure, unemployment, sickness, and the unexpected. Be careful. Plan and prepare for everything. God only asks you that we do what we can, when we can, and where we can. But we need to make a commitment and do our best so that He will include us in the rest. God will protect us, brothers and sisters. I testify to that. God is there ready to help us. We have to do our part. Diane Kelman says the audio is working, but the video system screen is locked. I'm so sorry for that, guys. I really am. Does anybody have any questions for me? I want to make sure that I can help you. Diane is saying Big Brother is alive and well. It surely is. Big Brother is watching us right now. They're watching me. They're buffering me because they don't want to get this message out. Heaven forbid. NCWQ just put a thing in chat saying, guys, he is working on it, and I will get this working, I promise you. I'm not going to let this continue. Do you guys have any questions for me? I love you guys. If you have not already watched our Sunday school class, go over here on YouTube and bring up our Sunday school class. At least there I was not getting buffered. At least there you saw our message, or you will be able to see our message. This morning's message is not just beautiful, it's right on the money. It's right on the money. I love the Lord, brothers and sisters. I speak the truth. I speak the truth. I love our Savior Jesus Christ. I love our Heavenly Father. We can, when we can obey Him and obey their commandments, guess what? We will be blessed for it. When we can obey the commandments, we will be blessed for us. And truth will be opened unto us. Fact. That's a fact. Please, guys, please pray for protection. Pray for our country, Israel, the children of Israel. Pray for that little girl that was hurt by that Iranian missile. 10-year-old girl that was hurt by that Iranian missile. Pray for her and pray for her family. Pray for miracles. Miracles can happen. Brothers and sisters, I love you, or I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be risking my life and yours if I didn't care. Again, YouTube doesn't like me. I don't really care. I'm here for all of you, and that's what's most important to me. I'm here for all of you, and I will always be here for all of you. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. I love you. I hope that you've heard what I've said tonight. I hope you can take it to heart. I don't usually do these programs on Saturdays or Sundays. I try to take the weekends off and only do Sunday school at noon Sunday afternoon Eastern Time. I've been on the air yesterday and today to talk about the war in Israel and what's going on and emergency preparedness. May God bless us. May God be with us this day and always. Folks, if anything else happens tonight, we will be back on the air to talk about it as soon as the information becomes available. Other than that, we will be here during the day or at least tomorrow evening after 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow evening. If something extraordinary happens, I will be on the air tomorrow morning. At the very least, we'll be here tomorrow evening after 6 p.m. May God bless you. What's that? Okay. We're going to play around with this video while we're still here on the air. Diane Kelman is saying, heaven forbid we save lives. Yes, that's what we plan on doing. Go ahead, Rebecca. Yes. Yes. To 6. Okay, folks, I'm going to test something here. Okay, I'm now down at 6. The video bit rate down to 6. And I pressed apply. Yes. Folks, we're just tinkering with this video here to see if we can stop this stupid stuff that's happening with YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Just a second. Take the video bit rate to 10. Okay, hold on, folks, just a minute.